We make things. We use our hands, minds, and machines to build, to fix, to improve. We're known as do-it-yourselfers, home improvement fans, fix-it fanatics, inventors. At our core, though, we're all makers. So let's jump in and make something. Hi, I'm Ron Hazelton. Welcome to the show. It happens. Appliances do have a lifespan, and at some point, well, they just stop working properly. Central air conditioning systems are no exception, and the last thing we want is for this to happen in the middle of the cooling season when installers are the busiest. Today, we'll see exactly what's involved in replacing an aging AC system and the many benefits new models offer. We'll also replace an exterior door that's seen better days. Well, warmer weather's just about here, and that means the beginning of the cooling season. Now, I've got a central air conditioning unit that may be on its last leg, so I'm going to see about replacing it. A central air conditioning system has two major components, an outdoor condenser and an indoor air handler. The system's coolant is put under pressure by a pump inside the condenser. The coolant heats up, but is quickly cooled down by air drawn through the condenser's cooling fins. The chilled coolant then circulates to the air handler and the cooling coils inside. As indoor air flows over the coils, it becomes cooler. I've invited Jen Crisanti, project manager for Encon Heating and Air Conditioning, to come by and take a look at my system.
By the model number, it looks like it's 25 years old, so it is at the end of its life.
That's about all you can expect? About
18 to 25 years in the year that it was manufactured, so it's time to replace it. I'd also replace the pad underneath it.
Why is that? I mean, is it...
Well, you want the unit to be level, and with the rain and snow, it's going to unlevel a little bit, so you want to keep it level so all the coils are showing, and so that it functions the way it should be.
Anything else out here that's going to require attention?
I would replace this refrigeration line going all the way up to the top, and along with your new drain line. I'd also put a cover over it so that looks nice, neat, and for aesthetic purposes. And it also protects the line from the sun and deteriorating
that would
like
be
this.
A big improvement if
Yes.
you can cover up some of that. With that, Jen and I head up to the attic. Well, obviously we're in the attic here, Jen, and here's the existing air handler. Now, this is not nearly as old as the condenser outside. Is it necessary to replace this?
It's typically not necessary, but in your case it will be. Just because it runs an R22 and it's a refrigerant that is now obsolete, you have to replace them both so they can be compatible with each other.
So the condenser runs on a new refrigerant, and it has to be matched up with an air handler that runs on the same refrigerant?
Correct.
Besides the air handler right here, what else would you be doing up here, if anything?
Well, we'll be replacing your electronic air cleaner with a new model electronic air cleaner made by Trane.
And what about the ductwork up here? Does it look okay?
Everything looks great. I think I would just replace this piece here, replace a couple of pieces here because this is the old R4 flex runs, so we'll put new R8 insulator factor in it. And so we'll put a brand new piece here, a new piece going behind the unit as well since it's old. Other than that, most of this stuff can stay.
I decide to move ahead with the project, and Jen gets things rolling. A week later, Encon Heating and Air Conditioning, a certified Trane dealer, arrives to begin the installation.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning. How are you? Ron, good. How you doing? I'm Rich.
Hey, Rick.
Nice to meet you. I'm Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome. Come on in.
All right.
Thank you.
Brian and Rich get right to work, disconnecting and then removing the old condenser. Then they lift up the old pad, wheel it away, and replace it with a new one, checking to make sure it's level. The new condenser is Trane's state-of-the-art model XL18i. It features, among other things, a newly designed weather guard top, reducing the likelihood of rain, snow, leaves, and debris entering the unit. The unit comes with increased efficiency that, I expect, will substantially lower my home cooling costs. It also offers two-stage cooling, Once the condenser is in place, it's time to remove the unsightly lines and pipes coming down from the attic. Up in the attic, Brian and Rich begin disassembling the air handler, first by detaching the ductwork, then removing the unit itself. Finally, the support chains and drip pan are taken down. A professional installation company makes sure all old equipment is carried out and removed from the job site. This Train M-Series air handler I'm getting features a variable speed motor and Comfort R technology, a fan setting that allows the blower to slowly ramp up, removing more moisture while it's cooling. The all-aluminum coil found in this air handler is many times more durable than standard copper coils, which are susceptible to corrosion. The two main parts of an air handler are the coils, which get cold, and the fan, which draws indoor air through the coils, cooling the air in the process. In an attic like mine, the air handler is often suspended from the rafters with chain. A professional installation includes a drip pan beneath the air handler to capture condensate and drain it to the ground outside. With the air handler secured in place, Rich cleans the dusty return duct, while Brian installs a couple of new fittings. Then the two technicians begin connecting the ductwork to the air handler and sealing the seams using aluminum foil insulation tape. One of the major flexible supply ducts is replaced with a rigid metal duct with thicker insulation. This will also improve airflow. The Train 3-stage Clean Effects air cleaner I've chosen removes up to 99.98% of airborne particles, making it 8 times more effective than even the best HEPA room filters. We're also installing this air scrubber. It attaches directly to the ductwork and is based on technology originally developed for the International Space Station. It uses light waves to reduce odors and remove smoke, pet dander, and contaminants on surfaces. Electronic filter, cooling coils, circulation fan. The major elements of an air handler. The next step in this installation is to solder the refrigerant lines in place and connect the condensate drain line and P-trap. This pretty much finishes things up here in the attic. Outside, it's time to install the line set enclosure, starting at the top and working to the bottom. The refrigerant lines are uncoiled, strapped together, and set into the enclosure, and the cover snapped into place. Quite a difference from the old look to the new. Next, the refrigerant lines are bent into shape and soldered in place. Brian then makes the final electrical connections, and the condenser is ready to go. The thermostat is the final piece in my new system. It's digital, programmable, and perhaps best of all, capable of being controlled from my smartphone. So there you have it, a complete central air conditioning replacement. Now typically a job like this takes 1 to 2 days. Now I have a system that's quieter, more economical to operate, able to filter and scrub the indoor air for pollutants, bacteria, and viruses, and can be operated from my smartphone. I'm good to go.
You know what? Water can be really difficult to live with. Sometimes it runs when you don't want it to, and then it won't run right when you do want it. Now take my toilet, for example. For the last few days, it's been running on its own. And when it happened in the middle of the night, I first thought it might be one of those shadowy visitors that goes bump in the dark.
Let me just show you how a toilet works. Now, when I push the flush lever out here, this arm comes up. It's attached to a chain, and that chain lifts up a flapper valve on the bottom of the tank. When that happens, all the water that's in the tank flows into the toilet bowl, and that's what does the flushing. Now, my problem here, I'm pretty sure, is that the seal between this flapper down here and the seat is faulty. There could be some dirt in there, some corrosion. I could have a little ridge on the flapper. I'm not sure. I'm not even certain that's the problem, but there is one way I can find out. I'm going to take some food coloring, and I'm going to put a few drops in the tank. If in fact there's water leaking through that valve, then we'll begin to see a little bit of that green dye or food coloring showing up in the toilet bowl. Take a look. Yep, sure enough, you can see it right there. See that dye just kind of trickling in there? Well, that's water that's coming into the bowl. So every once in a while, the tank level gets to a low point and the valve turns on and refills the tank, and that goes on over and over and over. The result is an annoying sound and a big waste of water. Now, it is possible just to replace this flapper valve down here, but the problem could also be in the seat. You know what I found out is it's usually better just to rebuild the whole tank works. It doesn't take very long, it's inexpensive, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Step number one, I'm going to go down here and turn off the water supply to the tank. Now there's always a little bit of residual water in here, and the best way to get that out is with a sponge and a bucket. Now this tank is held onto the toilet base with 3 bolts. You can see the heads of them right down here. I'm going to take those bolts out, but before I do, I want to disconnect the water supply line from the bottom of the tank right here. There it is. Well, our tank's loose now. Let's lift this off. Okay, there's our tank. The tank off. And this is where the 3 bolts came through here. The next thing I want to do is take off this large nut, because that's what's holding on the flapper valve assembly right here. Now this is where the problem was. There's something, for some reason, okay, seal right here. Maybe it's gotten hard, maybe there's some calcium deposits on there. I'm not sure, but it's not making a good seal, good contact down here. So, bye-bye. I'll take this gasket off here. The next thing I want to remove is the flush valve. Now, this is a fairly new model. Just see I've got some mineral deposits and things going on up here, so I'm just going to replace this too. So in a matter of 10 or 15 minutes, I've been able to strip everything off this tank, and now I'm ready to rebuild it. This is the flapper valve, our new flapper valve. I'm going to insert this down the tank, and then just screw this on.
Next, I slip a new gasket, it's part of the repair kit, over the large nut, then install the bolts, washers, and nuts that will allow me to secure the tank to the bowl.
All right, let's take a look inside. See what we've got going on here. Here's our new flapper valve. Now I'll drop in my new flush valve right through that hole down there.
The flush valve is held in place with a nylon nut. Now I want this snug, but I've got to be careful not to over-tighten it.
Now we should be ready to set this back in place. So I'll just lift the tank up, align those 3 bolts with the holes in the base.
The tank is attached to the bowl by slipping rubber and metal washers over the 3 bolts we installed earlier, then screwing on wing nuts. Finally, I reattach the water line, turn on the valve, and
it sounds great. And best of all, no more leak.
I'm still in Holland, but we're switching gears from wooden shoes to wooden doors. Let's go see the Eggers family. As soon as I arrive, Dia, Tate, and I sat down with a cup of coffee, and they tell me their concerns about the rotted door. You worried about it? Are you concerned about it?
Yeah, very much so.
The first thing that I noticed was that we were starting to get insects as far as carpenter ants in there. We've been living with this problem for approximately 4 years.
My biggest fear is we're going to get the wall tore apart and it's going to be further in depth than what we think it is.
Ay, ay, ay.
As you can see, we've got a substantial amount of rat at our door frame.
Oh, man, yeah. You know, the first thing I want to do is sort of open this up and see what we've got here, just how far this has gone, okay?
Good.
So let's pull the door off and then get going.
All right.
Sounds great.
There you go. Take the door down. I tip it back toward you, Dia. Dia, I think this is all rotted. This probably is going to, yeah, it's very, very easy. Okay, and then take this out if you would, Tate. Just pry it. Yep, finish prying it. Let me give you a hand here.
Okay.
Okay, Tate, pull it up. Rather than try to patch the damaged siding, we decide to remove and replace the entire sheet. There you go. There you go. Excellent. All right, you see, this is all rotted in here.
It's incredible. It's just eating away like that.
I want to make sure that we go back here until we find the end of the rot.
Why don't you work down here, Tate?
Got the big hammer.
I'll give.
I got to work under my wife.
Under your wife.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hold up just one sec. See, the problem is that this board right here is up behind this board here. I don't know how to get it out.
As it turns out, the only solution here is to remove the freeze board that's trapping the top of the siding.
Okay, look at the spider nest here.
Holy
look at that.
Cow. Boy, Dia, you're getting right into this. Maybe a new
I
career.
missed my calling.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, why don't you go over here, Tate?
All right.
This guy's, there you go.
Oh,
Too late, guys.
no need.
Got it done.
All right.
Dia decides to try out my Japanese handsaw as she cuts away the rotted ends of the wall studs.
There you go.
There we go.
Next, we cut new ends from pressure-treated lumber.
Perfect. Okay, Dia, so how does it fit?
I think it's going to fit like a glove.
Yeah, good. Nice snug.
Using 3-inch rust-proof screws, we attach the replacement ends to the existing studs.
Perfect. Excellent.
All right, looks good.
Dia, finally, we want to attach the bottom of this stud right here to the decking down here. And again, we'll do this with the screws. You can see those pre-drilled holes make this a lot easier.
Well, it's 3 o'clock and we're losing one of our crew.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Yeah, just leave them when the going gets interesting. Okay.
Something about a job, responsibilities. He's got to go to work.
With our workforce reduced by a third, Dia replaces the insulation while I get the new siding ready.
Okay, just hold it right up in here now. Yeah, set it right down there. Okay, good. Now, we're going to slide it to the right a little bit. Get as close as you can. I'm going to lift it up. Get a pry bar here. Now, you're going to have this head just got to go underneath this lip right here, okay? So let me lift it up with a pry bar. How's that?
Perfect. We're in
See
on
in?
top and bottom.
Okay.
We use hot-dipped galvanized nails to attach the siding. Now, we could have cut the door opening first, but I decided to cut it out after the siding is up with a router bit that uses the door frame as a template.
Look at that, will you? Clean as a whistle.
Now this is going to fit, right?
This is the moment of truth, I hope so. I hope so. Okay, put the bottom in. Set it right in the threshold. Okay, tip it up. Oh, I like what I'm seeing.
Oh, look at
Looking
that.
good.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Long hinge screws are used to secure one side of the frame.
Now we're going all the way through the jamb and
Into the 2x4.
into the framing of the house.
Okay.
Now on this side over here, we'll do something a little bit different. Right where the shims are, we'll take a finish nail and we'll drive this through.
Well, we're almost there. We just need to reinstall the freeze board we took down earlier.
You know, Ron, this is just wonderful. I am so pleased. And it was an easier project than what I thought it would be.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Oh, and you got a nice looking door here.
Beautiful
It's a metal
door.
clad door right now. This is really pretty. Just two things though. We got to get rid of the source of this problem, which of course is the gutters up here. You guys are going to put those in. And then I suggest putting some plastic sheeting under these rocks to keep this water away from the house here. Okay?
I think that's something we can take care of.
You were wonderful.
Thank you.
I'd hire you in a minute.
Would ya?
Yeah. Want to come on the road?
Sure.
Okay.
To view today's projects again and countless more, go to HouseCallsDIY.com. Step-by-step home improvement tips when you need them.
I'm Brian Kelsey. Welcome to House Calls.
Join us as we tackle some great home projects, as well as look back at favorites from Ron Hazelton on House Calls.